Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Political Forum. My name is Mike Jacobson, and joining us today is Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas. Treasurer, thank you for being on tonight. I appreciate it.
Nice to be here, always.
All right, folks, so now this is your opportunity. If you have a question, comment, or concern for the Treasurer, the number's at the bottom of the screen, 312-738-1060. That's 312-738-1060. And please let your friends and family know that they can also watch us online at kntv.org/hotline, and also they can watch us on Facebook Live. We're Facebook Living this, so if you have a question that you want me to try to get to on Facebook Live, you can do that as well. So there's many different ways to interact with this program, to talk with the Treasurer with your questions or comments. But first, let's kick it off. So Treasurer, many people may not know, what the office does. So let's talk about that, and let's get into all the great things you guys are doing.
Okay, so Cook County is 5.5 million people. It encompasses 2,000 governments. It is the city of Chicago and 2,000 other kinds of governments, which are school districts, park districts, fire districts, police districts. But the county treasurer's office is the bank for those 2,000 various governments that collects the money, and the money goes back out within 30 days to pay for schools, libraries, police districts, mosquito abatement districts. And it also is the holder of the monies for the operation of Cook County government. So your real question is, what's Cook County government? Cook County government is actually the 16th largest government in the world. It has the largest public health system, the largest female, male, and juvenile jail system in the world. Jail is where you go before you're convicted and go to prison. It has the largest public health system. It has the largest court system. We have 456 judges sitting either in criminal court at 26th in California or in the Daly Center. There are 6 also outlying courts. It has jurisdiction over the Botanical Gardens, has jurisdiction over the Brookfield Zoo, and it has several elected officials. So it's the county assessor, the county clerk who manages the records, the sheriff who manages the prisoners, the clerk of the circuit court, someone who does the elections, and the treasurer, the bank. So we're all elected. There are 17 commissioners who govern the Cook County Board. There is a president of the Cook County Board, and they sort of make policy about how it's going to be run. My job is to make sure that everybody gets their money and that everybody pays, and everybody pays efficiently. So when I started this job in 1998, 20 years ago, there was no email system. There was no website. We had no IT department. We had no interaction in the office between networking of computers. So we have done a lot. We had 258 people. We're down to 70. But of the 70, 35 don't do anything except program. So it's really nice to walk into my office because all the 35 programmers, they each have 3 screens and they never talk to me. So I have a great office. I love my office now. I want only 35 people talk to me, the other 35 program. So what I'm here to discuss this evening is what those 35 people do. So this is what they do. So you need to take a look at this.
Put on the overhead right here.
Which is cookcountytreasure.com. And on cookcountytreasure.com, you're going to see in the middle a purple box.
I can go to that right now, too. If I go to the web PC, you can see this right over here, the purple box. Click on it.
So if you click on that purple box, what you're going to do is be able to put in your address. You put in your address, and if you put in your address, have you put in your address yet?
Mailing address? Let's see here.
Your property takes.
Oh, search by property address, right here,
Okay, so if you put in your address, do not put in north, south, east, or west, just your plain street number and your address. You will then be able to determine if you paid, when you paid. If you didn't pay, you're going to be able to know how to pay. You can actually pay online. But most importantly, those 35 programmers just finished programming the following. You can, on this site, know and go back 20 years to find out whether or not you ever overpaid your taxes. and we're sitting on $94 million worth of overpayments. This
Wow.
website will tell you
Wow.
if you overpaid. If you see that you are okay in that area, or if you are owed money, you punch a button, you'll get the application. 4 to 6 weeks, we'll send you your money back. Next, there are exemptions. If you're a homeowner, you, after a year, get a homeowner's exemption. If you're a senior, you get a senior exemption. And if you're on a senior freeze, which means that you make less than $65,000 a year, you get a freeze on that assessment. Well, for seniors, you have to apply for that exemption every year, and seniors don't apply for it.
Right.
They just forget to apply for it. So we now have that site set up, and we know that $43 million worth of seniors have not applied, and because they haven't, there's $43 million worth of seniors who haven't applied. There are actually 31,000 homeowners. So we are out trying to get them to come back in and get their senior exemption money. Why is this important? Because when we get to the tax sale, if I send you a bill and it's for $1,000,
Right.
you are not 65 or over, but if you got my bill for $1,000 and you forgot to apply for your exemption for 3 years, I actually owe you $1,500. So you shouldn't be on the tax sale list at all, because you don't owe me $1,000. I owe you $500.
So what if that senior never then puts in the application to get that exemption? What happens?
The money goes to, after 5 years,
Yeah.
or the money then stays permanently with one of these governments. So we are encouraging people to get in within that
Yeah.
4-year time frame and apply. And so we're putting this info up there
Right.
chronically. Now, what's really important, I'm going to put this up, and this is kind of astonishing to me. This new website is up. You can go to the bottom and Google Translate this website into any of 106 languages. There's a Google Translate button there. That button
Oh, yeah,
in the
right
middle.
there.
Yeah,
Right
right there. Right there.
Yeah.
So you go to that and you punch and you can, no, that's not it.
Oh, that's not it.
You should put me over there.
Google Translate, it says right there. Here, what?
Select.
Select language.
Okay, so let's pick a common language here. Let's pick the largest landowners of property in Cook County are Polish. So let's go to the top of here. There you are. You're in Polish.
Wow.
The entire website. So why is that interesting? Because we know, according to this, and we have these brochures on the website in all these various languages. There are 4 brochures about the office. These brochures are up in 26 languages. We've had 408,000 people come in and download these brochures in a language other than theirs. But look how interesting this is. 8,900 people have downloaded in Albanian. 19,000 people in Arabic. I had the Bulgarian consulate in the office the other day. 13,000 Bulgarians have downloaded this information. So what is this telling you? What is this telling you that 131,000 people have downloaded in Polish?
Yeah.
These people don't come to my office anymore. They do not come to my office anymore. This is why my traffic in the office is down. Because people can go to this, go to that website, get a very complicated system explained to them in a very simple way, and they love it.
Well, it looks like we have our first caller of the evening. Caller, do you have a question or a comment for the treasurer?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hi. So I've been watching, and I wanted to ask, would it be possible for me to check the treasurer's website on my grandmother's behalf? She can't really get out like she used to, and she's not particularly
Yes, a great
tech-savvy,
question.
But
You can not only check for your grandmother, you can check for anybody on your block, any friend, anybody you know. You can go to that website, put their address in, and the information comes up. You can't get the money for your grandmother, but you can tell your grandmother if she didn't get the money.
And again, this website, folks, is cookcountytreasurer.com, cookcountytreasurer.com. Thank you for that question, Colin. So you're saying, so also obviously people are going on to online because it's just easier, more convenient. They don't have to go downtown to make payments.
So here's what happened. About a year and a half ago, people have gotten trained to go to Chase Bank and pay.
Right, right.
So about a year and a half ago, we got a call from Chase Bank telling us, look, we are going to we're going to kind of cut down to maybe one cashier per bank. So I said, that's going to really hurt us. They said, we've got to get an online campaign going here.
Right.
So about a year and a half ago, we worked with Chase Bank to start pounding the pavement to get people to pay online. So fortunately, when Washington passed this prepayment law, in December of last year, 127,000 people who wanted to get their 2018 deduction in 2017 before the federal law changed.
Yeah.
We were in the office until midnight on December 31st. 127,000 people came in. Most of them came in online and got the deduction.
Is that going to happen this year? Or are you going to see the same rush at the end of this year?
No.
Okay.
No. But what you're going to see is a new trend. So we now have more people paying online than we have going to Chase Bank. That's like unheard of. Why? We took away the dollar fee.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was big news last year. Yeah.
So now something else very interesting has happened. Because we are out in every community, beating the bushes, meeting with ethnic groups, talking to seniors about this 94 million, and about the 43 million.
Yep.
Our web site usually gets about 450,000 people visiting a month. We just spiked to almost 800,000. That's unheard of. So you now have an office that has gone beyond this century because of the ability to do these languages, number one, and a phone system. The phone is 312-443-5100.
Put that up next right here.
312-443-5100. That is our phone system. So you can go to this phone system and you can punch in your PIN, which is your property index number. If you punch in your property index number, what will happen is the voice at the other end of the phone, just like with your credit card, this voice comes back and tells you, you paid, you didn't pay, you owe. And then if you want to pay online, it will tell you how to pay online. It will tell you how to pay by credit card. So the significance of this is that it is just, you could be in Poland and this phone system is in English, Spanish, and Polish.
Wonderful. Because
the largest landholders of property in Cook County are Polish. So we've made it possible so that if you're in Poland, you can call this phone line and they're going to tell you how to pay in Polish. And believe it or not, people use it every day. Every day. They don't come into the office like they used to because we've made it so easy for them to go and get this information. We have very few translators left in the office. Because if somebody does come in with a language issue, we just say, here.
Right.
I mean, you know how long it would take to have one person at the counter explain all this to somebody in Chinese or Albanian or Polish? So you just give it to them. That's done. We've got special computers set up on the counter where you can pull up anything you want in any language, and we've made it easier for people. which is what they want. They want. If it's not easy, they're not interested.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. So something said, like moving forward, like what are the important dates that these people have to know? What do we have to know? The important dates, so we make sure that we're on point, where we're ready, and we're budgeting, our money.
Okay, so March 1st is always your spring payment, and that is always 55% of what was owed in August. For the last 4 years, with 4 or 5 years, I think, with Barrios' assistance, with the outgoing assessor's assistance, the tax bills have always gone out August 1st. They never used to go out on August 1st. They would go out October 1st, sometimes November 1st. They were always late. The reason that they were late is because there were so many appeals. They used to be late, and there still are appeals. But there was this rush to meet this August 1st deadline. We're in a quandary right now because we're getting a new assessor. So with the new assessor and the change in assessments, the city just got reassessed, so next August will be everybody calling to complain, okay? We don't know when the bills are going to go out this year. We have no idea. We have no idea. I have no idea. So I'm just going to put it up on my website.
Yeah.
When I find out, I usually get numbers 6 weeks before you get the bill, because it takes me 3 weeks to process this stuff. But what I'm going to do now is, as soon as I get the numbers, instead of running it through the system and printing it and mailing out the bills, I put the numbers online. So if I get the numbers in June, but your taxes aren't due until August, when I get the numbers in June, on the internet, and believe it or not, people start paying. In 2 years, when this new countywide system goes in, it's called the Tyler system. They're trying to connect the clerk, my office, the recorder's office, and the assessor's office with one system. We are going to try at that point in time, when the August bill goes out, we're going to send out the March bill too. You don't have to pay it until March.
Right.
But I'm going to send out a bill that has 2 coupons on it. Some people want to pay early.
Right.
Let
For
'em.
budgetary reasons.
Well, they just want to get it over with.
Right.
They want to get it over with. They don't want to be bothered with it. So we are in the process right now of creating what's called a 2 coupon bill, and they can pay early if they want. I can't ever tell them what the August bill is, because the August bill is a bill that gets changed based upon assessments and levies. And levy is what each of these governments comes in and tells the clerk, this is how much I need to run the school system this year. And the school systems are about 80% of the bill. If you look at the bill that I send you, it actually lists. Let's talk about this a second, because this is very interesting.
That's part of that disclosure ordinance, right? Where people are able to see exactly what they're paying for?
Here, look at this. This is really nice. This is a first installment bill. This is your bill that's due in March. Okay? So this tells you exactly who you're paying to. Remember I said there's 2,000 governments?
Right.
Wherever you live, you're going to get a series of bills like this. And this is what each of those government owes. This is the amount of pension in that district. And this is the amount of shortage. Shortage means they don't have enough money to cover this.
Right.
But
this is something that people can look, when they're looking at their bill, they can see exactly what the money's going towards.
Exactly what it's going towards. Then this one is...
And while you're looking it up, I think that we have a caller, so we're going to put the caller on as you're looking for that next form. Caller, are you there? Do you have a question or comment for the treasurer?
Hi, yes. I just want to ask if there's any possibility in lowering my parents' property taxes because our annual income is significantly lower than the other households in our neighborhood. Like, what are the possibilities?
Are your parents, is your combined parents' income less than 65,000?
Yes.
Okay, so if that's true, are they over 65?
One of them. Well, no, actually, no. Almost.
Okay. Well, when they hit 65, they can apply for the senior citizen freeze if they're making under 65,000. But they can't apply for it until they're senior citizens. They're not as old as me.
Is there anything they can do now?
Thank you.
No, you can't. You got to be a senior citizen to get a senior citizen exemption.
All right, thank you for that question, caller. So did you find the form?
Well, this is just simply, this is a proof of payment bill. But this is, if you look at this, it'll tell you on here whether you got a homeowner's exemption, a senior exemption, and a senior freeze. So this is somebody who didn't get anything. I don't know why they didn't get anything. I mean, that's kind of strange if you're living in a house and you didn't get anything. That person, if they've been living in that house for over a year, they should have gotten some kind of an exemption, a homeowner's exemption.
Wow.
So this guy didn't get anything. So unless this is a commercial piece of property, which I seriously doubt, I seriously doubt this.
But this is something where the people, when they're looking at the bill, this is what they can see in terms of...
That's exactly what they can see. They can see whether or not they got their exemptions here. Yeah, and this is a proof of payment bill. This shows that they, yes, in fact, paid. This is the more significant bill, this one here. Yeah. So, these are a series of brochures saving you money.
Let's put those down.
Yeah,
We'll be able to see.
on the back of here, it shows you that if you were to go to the assessor's office, the clerk, the recorder, the treasurer, or the portal is meaning the website, this tells you where your info would come from. And then these are the phone numbers of each of the electeds that you could call and their websites. So this is important. The Cook County assessor, if you wanted to change your assessment, that's where you go. The Cook County clerk is where you would go if your property got sold. The Cook County recorder of deeds is where you would go if you wanted to record a new piece of property. And the Cook County treasurer is where you would go if you wanted to pay. This is a brochure, which is really quite interesting. It tells you about all the types of exemptions that you could get. So it explains homeowner, senior, the questions that the lady that just called had about senior freeze, but there are other types of exemptions. So there's a disabled persons exemption, a home improvement exemption, returning veterans exemption, disabled veterans homes, and longtime homeowner occupant exemption. So all of these exemptions are in the assessor's office. So you would call the assessor, and that number is 312-443-7550, and they would explain to you how to do that. This is just simply a payment guide, this brochure. It tells you what to do because a lot of people make partial payments.
Yeah.
In other words, your bill's $500 on August 1st. You don't have $500, so you pay. It tells you how to pay September 1st, October 1st, November 1st, or however that you want to do that. This one is a new homeowner's guide. This brochure is called New Homeowner's Guide, which is really important because people get very confused when they're new homeowners. So it will tell you what your options are on paying your tax bill, and it's very important because a lot of homeowners make the following mistake. They get a bill, they've already got an escrow set up, but when they get the bill, they forget that the mortgage company pays, so they pay. So now, that's how you get $94 million in overpayments because they get confused as soon as the bill comes and they want to pay it. This one is how to read your tax bill, and this one is the example of the various financial districts. You can go here and you can punch.
Can you get that? That's what it's
Yeah, you can go to Northwest Mosquito Abatement District, Barrington Library Public District, if you live there. You can punch that on this larger piece of paper here. If you went to the website and you punched in Oak Park District, if you punched on that, the financial statements for Oak Park District for that year would show up. We are now, by ordinance, the repository of all 526 governments. We have their financial statements online. They submit them December 1st of every year. And you can go there and you can see exactly how each of these governments is spending every cent in your area.
Wow. Well, folks, this has been a show that's been chock full of information. We're getting close to wrapping up. We only have about, I'd say, about 2.5 minutes left. So besides this, I know that you're also in the news because, the mayor, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, has decided not to seek re-election. You're on the record saying that you're looking into it. But more than that, like, what do you want to tell people, when they're looking at, electing a new mayor?
Look, being the mayor of Chicago is not for wimps. This is heavy duty. This is a rough job. It is 700 days a year. It is 48 hours a day. It is serious economic, financial, school, hospitals, violence, police. It is a conglomeration of 3.5 million people who are, in my 30 years of service, the angriest I've ever seen them. This is an angry, angry electorate. They are very unhappy. And the person who takes this job has to be able to dispel that anger and solve all the problems that are causing that anger. From not being able to get a garbage can to angry about what they're getting charged on this bill, to angry about the fact that something got, stolen in their neighborhood. The kid got shot at, that their kid's in a gang, that the school got closed. This is not, this is going to take, whoever becomes mayor is going to have to go in with a team of horses and treat this like a battlefield.
Right.
This is not just, hey, I want to be mayor and isn't this wonderful? Right. Those days are over.
Right.
This is heavy duty.
Right.
This is.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on the show. I can't believe that the show has gone that far, but it's wrapped up. We got to wrap it up. We got less than a minute left, so I'm going to show your website one more time, and this is where people can go to. They can find out all information concerning your office and exactly how to easily look at the property taxes and pay online, correct? Any last thoughts about your website and people to get involved? Well, it's cookcountytreasurer.com. If you are one of the 1.8 million property tax owners who have not visited that website, that is a serious error on your part. You are doing yourself a disservice because there's more information about you and the last 20 years of your property than any place else in the world. And you need to go there and you need to check something even as simple as whether or not the billing address is correct. Right. You need to check to see if at the closing your lawyer put in the correct information about where it is that you live. Right. You can compare your information on my site to your neighbor's information and make a determination about whether or not you think you want to hire a lawyer to do an appeal. So we're happy about this. We're inviting more and more people on a daily basis to come to cookcountytreasurer.com. I'd like to thank you for having me on. And it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everyone.